Good evening. I am the teacher. I'm going to be talking about problem 13 today. I'm going to be doing a series on problem 13. I've been promising to talk about it for a while. I've been having a good spring equinox. Tomorrow is June 1st, and we will be going into the fasting of the summer solstice. So I'm looking forward to that. I will be fasting most of this time from June 1st to June the 21st. June the 21st is the actual day in the northern hemisphere for the summer solstice. I think it's at, well, I don't want to lie to you, but I think it starts at 7:46 or something like that. Anyway, on my next video, I'll break that down because I'm going to be doing videos throughout this summer solstice. Once again, I'm going to focus on problem 13. Now, when I've been thinking about how we go about doing this problem 13, you got to understand there's a lot of moving parts to problem 13. It's just not one thing that you have to talk about. So I'm going to try to do a series of anywhere between 15 to 20 minutes speaking on the topic. But when I was putting it together, how I want to go about doing it, I realized that I've been studying problem 13 for over 47 years, since 1981. So what I'm showing you, it can help you along, but there's so many moving parts to problem 13, because the understanding of problem 13 allows you to understand all of the lessons truly and properly in their proper state. When we were given the lessons, most of us just recited them. We didn't really study them to the fullest potential. Once again, I've been studying these lessons for over 47 years. And I realized that problem 13 is the reason that gave me the understanding of the 120. So once again, this is the key to understanding the language, because problem 13 speaks on, there are 26 letters in the language. And if a student learns a letter each day, how long would it take them to learn the 26 letters? Now we know true language is mathematics. So we know the 26 letters is not associated with the 26 letters of the English language. And my ancestors did not write language. Language was frequency. Language was mathematics, vibration, harmony. Our language, our original language, is not based on A, B, C, D, E, F, G. That's not true language. Whenever you write in your language, you are creating a spell. Mathematics, there is no spell. When you're writing a language that comes to an interpretation, with mathematics, you always get your solution. Mathematics takes you can't be in a belief state when you're dealing with mathematics, because mathematics is going to give you an absolute result. So we don't believe in God, we know God. And we treat God as He is. We treat God as He is present. We are not waiting on God to come deliver us, because He's already here. The truth is all around you. The one is forever present. You don't have to wait on the one, but you have to understand the fulfillment of the cycle that we are now on. When man understands, has the understanding of creation, excuse me, then he can properly bring his self into manifestation. Remember, the number 2 represents us. And 2 is the very next number of the 1. So that's why we are in the image and likeness of the one, because we are what this is all about. The original thought was to bring God into manifestation. In order to bring God into manifestation, he has to create us. You understand? I cannot be a father without a son. I cannot be a father without a wife. I cannot have a family or a union without my reflection, my zero. So in the previous videos that are out there, I break down what each number means. So you can watch them. But now I'm going to specifically be talking about problem 13 for a while. It's going to be a series on 13. And on the board today, I have problem 13. When you break down the number 13, which equals 4, I got 23 and 59 here. I got show you the so-called military hours, but these are the true hours. It starts at 0. So midnight is, 100 hours is what they call it. You don't get to, the 1 hour until you go through the 0 hours. That's true motion. Everything starts in the womb. Everything starts with 0. Period. So the first motion starts in seconds. The second motion, the seconds kicks off a minute. 60 minutes makes 1 hour. You gotta have 60 seconds and 60 minutes to be introduced to the one, to be introduced to 1 a.m. So the 120 brings you into the understanding of the one. You understand? We were given 120 lessons, 60 seconds, 60 minutes takes you to the one. So the whole problem and the whole lessons, the whole supreme wisdom is bringing you into the understanding of the Son of Man. That's the understanding of you. You and I, all of us, have the one in us. And when we understand creation, we can bring in our true son when we get what our true woman and create our true family. Once a true man and a true woman comes together, Satan is done. You cannot deceive a person that knows. How are you going to deceive me if I know God? I don't entertain Satan because my language is mathematics. Failure has nothing to do with Satan. Failure, the way you interpret failure, I do not. If I make a mistake, that's not a failure. It's just what it is. I was working the problem wrong, and if I keep working the problem, I would get my correction. That's not failure. That's not failure. That's not Satan. I'm not going to mistreat you. I'm just not going to do it. If I have a bad day and you getting on my nerve and we get an argument, that's not Satan. That's just you and I. You caught me at a time of bad mood. Don't even entertain that. It gets resolved. We understand forgiveness. We move on. You understand? When you dealing with the no and you know God is present, you know your intention. It wasn't out of malice. How we critique ourselves has to do with how we are taught. You can't have good without bad. You can't have false without. The truth has nothing to do with right or wrong. The truth is. So when you come into supreme mathematics, you look at things different. You are going to succeed if you continue to work the math. That's it. There is no failure in mathematics. So here we go. Like I said, you start at, of course, 100 hours is 12 a.m. The one has not been manifest yet. Until you have your 60 seconds and your 60 minutes, then you become the one. And the 60 seconds and the 60 minutes continues the cycle. In the beginning, was the Word. And the Word was with God. And the Word was God. So the first 3 hours, you're going to eventually come into the understanding of you. This is all, once again, this is in the thought process. I'm taking you through, this like when we say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And when I break it down, that's the original thought. That's the thought process. Then when you go 4, 8, 3, 7, 2, 6, 1, 5, 9, that is the manifestation process. And then when you go 7, 5, 3, 1, 8, 6, 4, 2, 9, that's the coming of the Son of Man. So everything is about getting to you where you can create your son as God brought the 2 in. See, we represent the number 2. That's us. And when you're looking at it, when you actually count it, this is 1, 2, and 3. The 2 is the beginning of us. Every whole number, if you just multiply all the whole numbers with themselves, it creates the pattern of 2. It creates us. We are the true beginning. We can't be the 1. You can't multiply the 1. 1 times 1 is 1. You can't multiply God. We can't create the 1. Just like I can't create my Father. I can't create my Father. But I can create and become like my Father. Don't be afraid. You can be like your Creator. This is what this is all about. So this is the original thought. And this is what this has been what kept away from you. You up there being proud that you know how to speak language, or you know how to write your language real good. You know how to put the apostrophes and the periods and the correct spelling. All you're doing is practicing wizardry and witchcraft. Your language is nothing to be proud of. This is the language that you need to know. This is your original language. This is mathematics. It gets you into a knowing state of the original God. I also got the clock up here. You see the number 12? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 12. I got the military time around that. Pay attention. On the first one, these are all the AMs. This is 12 a.m. This is 1 a.m. This is 2 p.m. 3 p.m., 4 p.m. All of them is, a.m. These are all of the a.m. So you get to the 11 a.m. The next one, the 12, brings you into the p.m. The p.m., it has its own name, but as far as the true clock, once again, the universe is 12 base. So you go through a complete cycle of 12. You cannot ignore the 12. You have to put it, if you're a universal being, you got to calculate your time universally, not just your time as far as self-time. You can do 1 to 9, and I'm going to speak on that. But universal being, if you want to come into the creation thought, you have to deal with the 0. You have to deal with the 0. There is no individuality in the universe. If you want to deal with creation and properly know how to bring creation, then you have to deal with 0. You have to deal with your 0. And the 0 has to deal with they 1. Period. We are 10 base. And the number 10 is 1 and 0. There are only 2 numbers in existence. And that is 0 and 1. Period. So, when you get into the 1 o'clock hour and to the PM side, when you start making things manifest, that's the 13th hour. So the 1 is on the 13th hour. So you have to understand the original time, how you come into the 1, the thought. Everything has to start in thought. Everything has to start in bringing up that original thought. And I did a series on that, how you can see that. But in problem 13, the reason why it says the problem is 13, because you don't ever come out of your believed state. You know there's God out there, but you don't know how to bring God into your everyday life. You don't see life as God. See, I see God every day. You know, you may look at, say, that's a bird. No, that's life. The grass you walk on, you might say that's grass. No, that's life. That's exactly what it is. Technically, it's life. Period. If you want to say what kind of organism it is, what it takes, you want to break it down into the chemical basis, all of them things that you are dealing with, everything that is a part of life, like the cells that are in my body, they got their own universe, they got their own world, they're a part of this, they're part of their galaxies. It's all a part of us. Everything that's going on is a part of us. There are some astrophysicists say that we are actually stardust. The universe is we are connected. So all this separate stuff don't get you anywhere. There is no individuality that exists in the universe. That's why you have to think and act according to creation. There's no such thing of America. That's just your reality. That's something man-made. It's made. It's not created. Man discovers things. He doesn't create nothing because he's using the material that is already here. So how are you creating something? You didn't create cars. You made it. You didn't create a house. You made it. You didn't create anything. You didn't create the cotton gin. You use the materials that are here. You ain't create nothing. You are making things. You're not a creator. You don't even know how to properly get married. You don't know how to properly raise your kids. You don't know how to properly eat. You're drinking polluted water. We are so foregone from the reality of God, from the truth. Don't come in here and tell me that you're some kind of creator. You haven't created a damn thing. You're making things. You use the material that is already here. You didn't create it. You have to understand creation. And that starts with the original. So that's why it's problem 13. You understand? Problem 13 equals 4. 4 is balance. When you understand balance, when you get balance, then you can actually build on something. So you brothers who are talking about that you're going to build, how are you building something when you don't even understand creation? Do you really truly understand problem 13? Do you? Do you have luxury, money, good home, and friendships in all walks of life? Do you understand the original thought? Do you know the 3 cycles of life? Do you know the keys of life? Can you break down the 3, 6, and 9? So, do you understand the language of the Son of Man? Do you know when the Son of Man? Do you understand how that works? We have to grow. We have to continue to study. We have to continue to grow. So here we are. The 13th hour means problem 13, the PM time. There's 2. You understand? The duality. There's 26 letters in the language. That is harmony. That is frequency. I will break that down. I will give you a clear start on how you can start using the mathematics, the duality in its proper term. You have to be able to create harmony. You have to be able to speak the language. And I don't mean by speaking it by tongue. It is frequency. You have to align your body, self-healing, etc., etc., etc. You see this time right here? 23:59. So when you get to the 23rd hour and 23:59 before it gets to the 24th, where you complete your 4 day. I'm also going to break down the significance of the hours and let you see the days that we are born and why we are coming into the original thought, into the original creation and the timing of the Son of Man. With the timing when we receive these lessons, and I'm going to show you how that time works within problem 13. Remember, they said the Secretary of Islam will give you a reward for the best and the neatest worker of this problem. Now you think about that. the best and the neatest worker of this problem. When you say the neatest, that lets you know it's a lot of moving parts, and you have to be able to speak it in its proper term. This is not just writing it down like I show you the cycles of life and show you how you can do this stuff. Problem 13 is a lot of moving parts because you are creating a harmony. You are creating a frequency of understanding. Once you get to understanding problem 13, like it says in English lesson C1, can the devil fool a Muslim? Not nowadays. When you understand the language, Satan is gone. Satan only exists because you allow him to. Because Satan's time to rule is up. 2359 is the number what? 2 plus 3 is 5. 5 plus 5 is 10. 10 plus 9 is 19. So each day ends with the number 19. And you know what the number 19 signifies? It signifies it is the manifestation of the one that is complete. 19. The next number after 19 is 20. And 2 is us. And we have our 0. And when you put the 1 in front of the 20, you got the 120. It's all there. It's all in your lessons. I'm going to give, this is a brief overview of what I'm going to be talking about. The 12 base universe, the 10 numbers, the 26 letters, the coming of the Son of Man. In the beginning was the Word was with God, and the Word is God. The womb, the one, and us. That's a family. When the creation starts, 0. The one is coming out of the 0. The one goes, if you facing it, we say that is going to the 0's right side, right? But when I look at it, it's on my left. So the why I say it went to the left side of the 0. So the negativity is destroyed. There is no such thing as a -1 when it is united with the 0. It only becomes negative when you don't know your 0. That's a -1. So you just keep going this way. Then you're a -2. And that's exactly where we've been. We've been going counterclockwise. But once, that's why people say, well, you do numerology. No, I don't do numerology because I know the 0. So when you got the 0 and you go to your 0, you become 10 base because you have mastered your numbers. So you make the number 10, and that's the first 10. Negativity is destroyed. So when the Christians say that Jesus died for your sins, mathematically, when the 1 goes to that side of the 0, it destroys negativity. There's no more negativity. There is no more Satan. There's no more hell. There's no more hellfire. That's 10 base. The solution, he broke the 7 seals, man. He understands the universal code. It's the universal code. It's 12 base. You break it down, you broke the 7 seal. Here it is. I spoke about that when I was talking about the number 7. So here is the 10 base. That's the first 10. And problem 13, I'm going to have to bring in the knowledge of the 3 10s as well. That's the first 10. And that's why we are 10 base. And that's why there are 1 and 0 are the only numbers. And the 1 destroys the negative. He stops you from going counterclockwise. We going this way. We going to the 1. And when you get to the PM and when you become a manifest, it's problem 13 because that's the 13th hour. And I'm going to show you when the master came and the hour he came and how significant the hour he came. And I'm going to show it to you mathematically. And on that note, 1 times 1 times 1 times 1 equals 1. Thank you for listening.